Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance. This is Setons. This will be a series of games. Hopefully there will be a couple in this video. They should be quite long, however, that I wanted to do for quite a while. If you look at some of the first videos on this channel, they're kind of bad quality Setons, and now I think this will be pretty good quality finally after about a year, actually even more than a year. And I hope people enjoy these, and I'll try to do this in chronological order. This is a game from summer 2008. You might see some familiar faces like Berg, and I guess Old Time might be familiar with some people. He's a very good mid player. But I hope people see from these series of games the evolution of just the play style and what happens. This is all 3599, so it's all exact same patch. I probably won't have time to throw in a Forge Alliance forever, but probably people will see 2011 3599 as the peak of strategy. Probably the most played years were 2009, 2010 for Setons, at least. That's when we had player track, some really high quality games, and of course different rules that people set up for themselves. And this is all, of course, complete separate from all the ranked and all the other games that were going on simultaneously. In the middle here we get Max B playing with UEF, and one thing you might notice, even though both players running to the middle pretty aggressively, both going for point defense. Not too much plans in terms of what's going to be reclaimed. Let's see. Yeah, point defense here for Old Time, and point defense here for Max B. Max B wants to block the point defense with his ACU. A whole bunch of flares. Now actually these are mech marines from Max B. Looking for an engineer. They might actually spot this engineer making a radar. There's a radar here for Max B, and actually they'll come in. They should be able to take out this engineer. So successful attack there from Max B. Good work. The point defense actually for both players is finished nearly simultaneously. Some artillery now from Max B. And scouting from Bafana. Bafana, another player you might be familiar with. Be nice if he came back. Had a lot of good games. Very creative player. And you can see artillery from Max B. Takes out the point defense for Old Time. Very ineffective. And this is something you'll never see in current Setons games. Old Time ran up to the middle before minute 3, and then came back to start making a factory. Now he's going to come back to make some more. To get some more mass. Then he's going to come back to finish the factory. But a whole bunch of units coming in as well. Probably going to play these at about +4, +5, make them pretty quick unless there's something really exciting going on. Here we see Taiman from the back making a whole bunch of. This looks like a gesture. He's going to try to grab the island from Bafana. That's pretty ballsy. It looks like 242 didn't even try to go for the island. Just sitting here with Aeon going to Tech 2 Air. He's giving an air factory over to Taiman as well. Now in the middle here, Max B, he's got his point defense working for him. They're a little low on health on his ACU. Looks like Old Time has been shooting at his ACU for a while. Now it runs into the point defense. Some support looks like from Neurobound from the back. Neurobound making some units out of his Tech 2 land factory. He's also got a Tech 2 air factory going to Tech 3 here. So not a lot of build capacity, as you can see. Where are all the NGs, you might be asking, and they're not there. It's just 2 factories that are really advanced. And now we got a whole bunch of bombers sniping Max B. Berg going for a Tech 2 bomber snipe. That was a very popular thing to do back in the day. You can see a pretty big lack of Tech 1 air. Of course, Baffanat making pretty good Tech 1 air, but not nearly enough. Actually, both players had it. They just got killed by Berg's Tech 2 air rush. Looks like Berg neglected taking his island. Maybe he just wanted to get the air out quicker. This will give Old Time a pretty big opportunity to run over his opponent. The middle has been given over to Big Bad. He's going to get a nice eco from. It looks like this is Mech Marine spams. This is a really good way to feed an ACU, is with Mech Marines. 1 shot, 1 kill. And more Tech 2 bombers fighting in the middle. Berg pretty aggressive with his tech to air. And this is really the pattern. People would fight with tech to air, try to snipe people, until the back players came out with ASF. So that quick ASF would put an end to any of this shenanigans in the middle. But let's see if Old Time can make something of this. Now Berg attacking the factories. This tech 2 bombers. There's a big overkill on those mech marines. Some major overkill basically. See some support from Buffonot throwing in some Manta. And Tech 3 land from the back for Neurobound. That's pretty amazing. Already got Tech 3 air, ASF, no engineers. And I got a couple of Tech 2 power generators. The ACU is on the run, looking for mass extractors to upgrade. In the back here, not surprisingly, Tech 3 land from Tire and Flax. So both back players going for Tech 3 land and Tech 3 air with factories, absolutely no engineers. I hope people find that entertaining. I think that's pretty cool. We got Tech 2 Navy with some subs, Tech 2 submarine, Tech 2 torpedo launcher for 242, even though there's absolutely no Navy from Buffonot. So that's what happens when you're really afraid of the ocean. You start doing things like this. Berg completely neglecting Navy, and so is Big Bad. So this ocean, nobody wants to go in there. It's too deep. And we got a Tech 2, Tech 1 battle in the middle over some Tech 2 point defense here for Old Time. Old Time with his ACU is in the water. Actually pretty low on health. Looks like he was being sniped. He does have some Tech 2 flak. Three kills for that Tech 2 flak. ASF not coming in for Berg. Berg for the most part playing just like a back player, neglecting. Wonder what Berg would say if he saw this now. Tech 2 mass extractors around a Tech 1. Tech 2 mass storage around a Tech 1 mass extractor. But I got a lot of build capacity, and that's really what separated players back in the day. Is the ones that made build capacity had a huge advantage, and that's what Berg has with all those kennels. He also has a couple engineers, but not nearly as much as what he could have. Some Tech 2 now from Big Bad. These are the Mongoose. Also some Riptides there. Excellent units. But they're going to run into this Tech 2 point defense. You see Old Time, good defense in the middle, is going to hold that down. Some support from 242. He's got a Tech 1 factory here. Made a whole bunch of Auroras that he's just going to throw away against this Tech 2 of Big Bad. Looks like Buffonot is going to make some staging facilities to refuel his Air Force, as well as repair it. He does have some Tech 2 bombers here. A whole bunch of Tech 2 bombers just on a patrol. This used to be a thing that people love to do, is leave the air patrolling in the middle of the map so that somebody could attack it. Some ASF for 242, so beach player making ASF. Tech 3 air. Whole bunch of hives and a Tech 2 Cyber Air factory between two Tech 3 power generators, and not surprisingly power storage. So people said power storage had no use in 359. These people obviously thought it did. Now these subs, great way to do reconnaissance. Submarines, they just came here, realized there's nothing there. Probably shouldn't have even built those. But it's a nice safety that Buffonot definitely is not going to be able to build any Navy as long as those stay close. An air fight between Berg and Buffonot. Let's see, I can still definitely run at this speed. Berg completely dominates air. Tech 3 mass extractors for Baff. He's going to start making some Tech 2 flak. He's got some Tech 3 engineers, can get some Tech 3 anti-air, pause his air factories. And in the middle here we got an artillery. This is a beautiful unit, the UEF Arty. Popular through the ages. Getting some kills. Taking out a whole bunch of Arty here. Old Time getting some upgrades on ACUs, got some TMD. And that's not surprising given this cruiser from Big Bad. And this is a really cool ability of the Loyalists, the Cyber Loyalists, sending those missiles right back to the cruiser. We actually didn't see it. So this Loyalist just killed the cruiser by sending its missiles back at it. We have a bunch of bombers now coming through for Berg. He's going after Buffonot. We got some Strat bombers as well going after the mass extractors. Some Tech 3 anti-air for Bath. But total air domination for Berg so far, by far the most aggressive player. And there is also Cyber Navy. So that's basically what happens when you neglect Navy. Is you get hit pretty hard, plus restores from 242 and bombers from Berg. I really hope this game doesn't stop or desync. We'll be able to see the whole thing. I haven't seen the whole thing, but it seems pretty good so far. Some more Strat bombers going after Tech 3 mask extractors. 3 bombs takes that out, but they don't get more than 1 pass. Really good Tech 3 anti-air here for Bath. Those are great units. In the middle, a bit of perhaps trouble for Old Time, but does have Tech 3 support from Tyrant. Of course, this Navy put in a lot of pressure, restores from 242. But Tech 3 EEF in the middle for Big Bad, with those mobile missile launchers plus artillery, putting a lot of pressure on Old Time. Old Time running through with his Tech 3. This is a lot of kills for a Tech 3 tank. It's wiping everything off the map. Restores versus cruisers. Restores win. Another cruiser comes out. Not a place you want to fly for too long, but these Tech 3 tanks are definitely trouble. Getting hit by Tech 2 Arty. This is a beautiful unit. 19 kills. But some of these will get through. And Berg completely dominating air. You can see he's been taking out mask extractors with some bombers. And back here, oh, the spider from the back, Stumpy, by Timon. This is something crazy you never see anymore. It's just patrolling air. Looks like Tech 3 ground for 242 in the middle with some Harveys. We already got some next to Old Time. Old Time has a really good defense in the middle. Tech 3 flags, TMD. So for the most part a standoff. But a couple of these tanks for Old Time. This is an excellent tank. 41 kills, 4 stars. Some of these other ones, 23, 11. Tank on tank battle. I remember when people started dropping these all over the place for a while. That was a great time during Setons. Yeah, the Tham drop is a great strategy. 43 kills. But of course now run into gunships. Tech 3 gunships for narrow bounds take care of the problem. So now we're seeing snipes, tactical missiles versus Tech 2 point defense, plus some more mobile missile launcher platforms for Baphonaut. Eurobound. This is a good looking build capacity. Completely neglecting Tech 1 engineers, going for hives, which means you get your build capacity a lot later, but once you get it, it is quite nice. You can see that air spam is very effective. One thing I found out the hard way with my new processor, my GPU just might die. I hope it doesn't. So I might be a little afraid to zoom in on a really big battle. This should be fine, but there was one I zoomed in with so much stuff happening, it just freaked out. I'd hate to do that in the middle of one of these games. Bath again, another upgrade. Tech 3, he's got a very good eco. Tech 3 mask structures, Tech 3 power, plenty of ASF. But these cruisers from 242, Cyber cruisers, putting a lot of pressure. And now we have this Stampy, minute 31, finally makes it to the middle. The first experimental to really cross the midpoint. There's actually another experimental, a Spider from 242 in the water, just sort of sitting there. That's not really cool. But this has definitely shifted the balance of the mid-play. We can see Old Time's units following up the Tech 3 tanks plus shields. And this Spider now 45 kills. Just going to take out the Tech 3 factory. 54 kills. But it looks like in terms of air, this air spam, very good looking air spam. Something you might not see because it's not that cost effective, but it is definitely good looking. And it is very effective now. 61 kills. Spider now for Bab, so he'll be able to counter this Spider no problem. Plus these Whaler, the gunships. That was a very easy kill and a nice chunk of mass. There's also restorers for the bottom side. These Tech 3 tanks are going to retreat. It would be nice to see some flak. After a while, people realize you never leave your home without flak. You just got to get it. This is just a big waste of units to lose them like this. 28 kills for this arty. Will be wiped out by these gunships. See a chicken now for Big Bad, a spider for Bath. We might see a pretty massive battle now in the middle. I might just look at it from far away. Yeah, you can see the GPU probably would freak out seeing something like this. Hope it doesn't die on me now. You look at that from the bottom. Alright, now we got this chicken, which is going to put Old Time in danger. Old Time's got to run away. Some destroyers underwater as well. Let's see what this chicken can do. Old Time safely gets into the water. He's got some, actually a whole bunch of Harbies and Tech 3 tanks. A very, very quick kill. That chicken, the restorers were moving in, but they didn't even get to shoot. And now the spider moving in might think twice if it saw what happened to that chicken. And looks like this is going to be a nice offensive air from Neurobound. Neurobound making mass fabs. That is pretty crazy, but he's doing it. You got to rebuild that. Got a whole bunch of strat bombers. Let's see what these can do. What can they possibly attack? We see the spider. That spider was killed even quicker than the chicken. Looks like those strat bombers retreated. Spider's also retreating for Baphomet, Mega for Bath as well. Some multiple experimentals. Looks like yeah, we almost never see the bugs. Is that Lolbat? It's called. Let's see what that gunship can do. See if at this resolution there shouldn't be any problems. But you never know. So in terms of build capacity, definitely an advantage for Neurobound over Timon. Timon does have some hives, trying to upgrade those. A lot of torpedo bombers. His eco is decent. Looks like he's got jack to a few of his mass extractors by 242. So that's a big disadvantage for Timon. Here at the back door, 3 experimentals for Bath. In the middle, we're seeing now Big Bad moving back in. He did get killed by that first spider, but now this stage of the game, experimentals are much weaker. We see another chicken now for Big Bad. Just gonna run through the water. Probably not make the stop in the middle if you can just sneak in on Berg. In the back, looking at Berg's base, good looking base. He's got anti-snipe protection with some Ravagers. Nice build capacity for UEF. Tech 3 shields and Omni. Plenty of Tech 3 power. And the cruisers. So the navies. Oh, actually, this chicken decides to go into the middle. Crazy chicken. It's another chunk of mass for the bottom side. So far people have been feeding each other with mass. And this is going to be a pretty massive air fight. I'm going to look at that from far away. Yeah, it's over there. Just going to fly through it. Yeah, that's probably going to die. Yeah, the chicken's running back. Oh, it's so much quieter over here. Looks like it's for the most part done. And who has come out on top? Looks like the top side, but both teams pretty good build capacity, and that's a nice strat. Just got wiped out right away. So far we're seeing defense in this game dominating over offense, but however, this could be interesting. Two spiders and a mega walking in on 242, and this is something pretty crazy. You usually see a massive amount of engineers around a detective factory. This one's just all lonely, but we do see GCs. 242, at least two of them, and the third on the way, so you should be able to defend. Looks like they have been spotted getting hit by torpedoes. Whole bunch of transports now for Timon. Looks like he's loading them up with engineers, Tech 2 engineers. So that could be interesting. The GCs should make pretty short work. Looks like this is going to be another 3 chunks of mass. Baphomet is going to donate to the bottom side. Yeah, the Mega turns around. He's trying to run to the water, so actually was successfully killed the wreck. Something we never see in Forge Alliance anymore, or Forge Alliance forever, because wrecks are left no matter where you drop them off. Another spider in the water. Maybe this time it'll decide to try to attack Berg at the back door instead of leaving yet another wreck for old time. And here is something back in 2008 that looks more like what we see today. Tech 1 engineers supporting an air factory. Whole bunch of torpedo bombers for Neurobound here, coming up minute 50. This is a pretty crazy Air Force. Actually, we got no. This is not a naval battle. This is torpedo bombers versus cruisers. Not really clear what was the attempt for Neurobound, what he was trying to achieve. We got those multiple GCs. Actually, as we were talking, this chicken once again, instead of attacking Berg, bypassed the middle defense and ran into the GCs. The GCs have been excellent for the bottom side. That's the 4th experimental they have killed. Whole time sitting in the water, getting yet another chicken. Looks like he's got the regen, and looks like the nano as well. It's going to be very difficult to kill that ACU. See Tech 3 shields plus 2 spiders, whole bunch of bricks, and a chicken on the way in the middle. The build capacity just keeps getting better for Neurobound. Be nice to see those hives get all upgraded. Tech 3. This would be a very good looking build capacity. So after the initial problems for the top side, they've really started playing very well. Neurobound, extremely good base. We see Baphomet now working on some nukes. Also has an anti-nuke. Working on yet another Mega. And a whole bunch of air now going into the middle. I hope this doesn't die. I'm going to look away. I'll slow it down for this. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So it looks like this bottom side here has total air domination. But these GCs now are going to dive from the gunships from the top. But the bottom side has nothing but bricks remaining. A dead chicken and a whole bunch of wrecks for the bottom side. I really hope that ASF doesn't land on top of this dying chicken. The gunships are. Well, they got to get up. Fly away. So much mass. Couple of Tech 3 tanks still alive, but they're going to get wiped out. Cyber and the Whalers going to work on them. More, looks like this is a pattern for Neurobound. It likes to do this. It's got a whole bunch of mass fabs as well, which is pretty crazy. Why make mass fabs when you can reclaim so much mass just from the field? And players really neglecting all this reclaim. These wrecks have been here for a long time, for old time. You could really just pick those up, turning it into something good. And this is nice to see Tech 1 factories making engineers. It's old time understanding something here. Berg's base slowly getting bigger, but not by that much here, minute 53. He's got a nuke. Does he have an anti-nuke somewhere? Probably does. Yeah, he's working on an anti-nuke now. But that nuke could be very interesting. I think I saw a nuke here started a while by Bath, but he's still working on it. He's had an anti-nuke for a while, it's already loaded. Another mega coming out for Bath. Here's an anti-nuke, it's already loaded, and we're going to see an Awasa. And who just launched a nuke? Oh, that was a secret nuke here from the island that I completely missed. This is a good looking base for timing. Let's see if that does anything. It is going across. If it's going after Bath, that's not going to hit anything because there is an anti-nuke that's loaded. You see Big Bad really desperately trying to get this anti-nuke, but this one's loaded, so that's fine. So really no problems. This could have been a target. 3 Tech 3 mass extractors. The middle could be actually a good target if you just wipe out all this mass. If players actually cared about reclaiming, and that was pretty good. Maybe a little bit over here. Yet another nuke, and this one's timing going crazy here. Minute 55. Launching nukes from everywhere. He's actually got yet another one loaded. He's causing damage. But if people really care about reclaim, we do see actually Baffinite picking up some of this reclaim, putting a nuke right here. This is nearly 100. This actually is 100,000 mass, which is quite nice. That's a couple of these Awasas. And so far, Baffinite has been using these as an anti-naval weapon. You can see they're coming in. Usually it's difficult to snipe cruisers because they do have pretty decent TMD, but cyber and missiles difficult to shoot down. And when they're 4 at a time, a big overkill there on that ship. And you can see a volley of cruise missiles against destroyers. And that's why you got to keep your Navy moving. Looks like he's trying to kill that stealth ship. So timing. While he's nuking, he's not paying attention to his Navy. Looks like his other nuke did not fall anywhere, which is most likely got taken out by one of these anti-nukes. So both side players have plenty of anti-nukes. Whole bunch of experimentals in the middle. They're all from the top side actually, so this could be interesting. There's a mega coming in with a whole bunch of shields.
Strategic launch detected.
Yeah, another nuke. This could be interesting depending on where that nuke falls. Yeah, this is just timing, just going crazy. He's almost got yet another one finished. I got this at +0. I can speed this up. Looks like he's going for the island. The islands are always a good target because he can take out 5 mass extractors, and there's almost never anti-nuke. No anti-nuke there now. Let's see if the placement was good. This almost looks like he missed one of these mass extractors. No Tech 3 Navy so far. And actually a battleship. I'm expecting this battleship to be killed
Strategic launch detected.
by a bunch of cruise missiles. Yet another nuke.
Strategic launch detected.
And looks like Berg beginning to launch nukes. A whole bunch of air now coming out against the battleship. Battleship dodging the missiles, which is kind of a surprise. But it won't be able to dodge the whalers. No chance. Man, these people can't stop launching nukes. But if this actually falls, no, that was a good anti-nuke. But Neurobound actually might not have any more anti-nukes. So I think new GPU is going to be in my near future. Something that I may have missed. We got X242. Yeah, we're back here at minute 59. Looks probably most. See if you actually got the teleport or not. he does have the teleport. So he teleported in, got a stealth, and built a whole bunch of cruise missiles in the back of Neurobound's base. That's going to be very interesting. Of course, in this game so far, we've seen some nukes fly around. Massive air forces, and this is the reason my GPU keeps failing, because at this speed is just too much stuff happening on screen. But I think we'll still get through this pretty massive air force here from Neurobound. As you've seen, great build capacity. Don't remember what I was talking about a while ago when I did the first hour of this game. There's still a little bit left over. I probably don't have all my regular settings on, but that's alright. This will still be fine. And here's Stumpy sitting there getting hit by gunships. Looks like Timon sort of forgot about this mega. Got a couple of Tech 3 engineers there as well. But this right here is going to be very crucial to this game. Whole bunch of cruise missile launchers. They can take out the ACU. Some power problems, it seems, for Neurobound. So even if he had an Omni, he would not be able to see that, because you need power to power all your radars. But ACU would be the primary target, of course. Anti-nukes are great. There's also Tech 3 power, because there's so many cruise missiles. There's no TMD, so you can take out most of power, but the anti-nukes would definitely be the second best targets after the ACU. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Looks like a massive torpedo bomber attack here from Berg. Looks like a bit of an overkill on a couple of those ships. Have a lot of ASF from Oldtime as well. He's got a nice ASF spam going on here, and we got a whole bunch of nukes. Actually, a nuke from Baff. This is going to be bad for Oldtime. That's unfortunate. Just said he had a good thing going on there, and I got taken out. We also got Nuke. So this is a secret nuke here on the island from Timon. Looks like he's going after Big Bad. He's working on a Wassa. That's going to get taken out. So the side players had plenty of good. Oh, this is going to be great. Looks like it's a snipe at the anti-nuke just as the nuke came in. So 242 working very well together with whoever sent that nuke. Timon, definitely on the same page. Perhaps it would have been better just to go after the ACU, but I don't get why the nuke wasn't here. It was here instead, but that's where it was. We got another nuke. This one's from Berg, but Berg has no path to actually hit Neurobound's base, because there's all these anti-nukes for Big Bad. He's got one he's working on in the middle, but that's probably not going to finish. But shooting over this, yeah, that got taken out. There's another anti-nuke. So plenty of anti-nukes for the side, and then you know a second nuke here from the side. Now for actually nuke getting hit by cruisers. That's so tragic. That's a hero cruiser, 2 kills, but 1 massive kill. Wait, these nukes just keep on launching here. This is gonna be a good second hour to this game. Berg joining in the fun. He's got 2 nuclear launchers. And so much anti-air, a ridiculous amount of anti-air. Baffinot also, so the both rock players launching their nuke. 39 kills for this one. And this is quite crazy. It looks like cyber nukes having major problems here. They explode above, so you can really protect against cyber nukes with shields. That's kind of unfortunate. So megaliths here from Baffinot, because yeah, cyber nukes explode above the target, they don't actually hit the ground. And these megas got caught from the back by these GCs. I hope I don't crash once again. Spider running through the water. The back door, of course, plenty of experimentals for Baff to defend. And that's what this game has been so far, is a lot of air, nukes, and experimentals. The Navy has just been kind of an afterthought. Whole bunch of bombers now coming in from Neurobound. Let's see where that goes. GCs, after taking care of the megas, go back into the water. Spiders, mass fabs, some optics facilities. So good stuff here from both sides. And here comes the Awas, so we're gonna keep an eye on that. That could be very crucial. Perhaps an Awaza hitting Berg's base and then taking out some anti-nukes. The middle's still vulnerable. So I don't definitely in FAF the cyber nuke is fixed, but I don't remember it actually being this bad. Perhaps in some situation it is. This is such a great eco for Neurobound, so you gotta say that he got hit by this nuke, but he didn't really lose much. There's just so much for him. And if he keeps making those hives, he's going to have a lot of build capacity. He's desperately trying to get more anti-nukes. He really should just build a couple more everywhere.
Strategic launch detected.
You can see Baphomet continues to shoot the useless cyber nuke. 2 chickens rolling through the middle. So much reclaim in the middle. Either side can just drop a couple engineers off there. And Old Time continues to pay the price for not having anti-nukes in this one. So 1 hour 10 minutes. Old Time gets hit. His ACU escapes. And this time you can see Cyber Nuke did its job. And this is going to be an impressive posse here. 8 experimentals. And here's an Awasa. That's probably given over to Baphomet by Big Bad. Definitely air domination. It's 3 different colors. Got a nice French or Czech or Russian, whatever flag combination. Old Time is the target. That ACU is going to be extremely difficult to kill. And that Awasa didn't last very long against Berg there. Just basically died, fell out of the air. So Berg got a nice mass delivery. So he used to get mass deliveries on the ground. Now he's going to get it through the air. But this right here could be very, very bad for Baphomet. He's got a couple of 2 experimentals, but it'll be 2 versus 8. And Baff, this could be the beginning of the end for him. He does have another mega, but he should check out what exactly is happening here. Another possibility for a nuke. And if those experimentals get through and break some anti-nukes in Baphomet's base, this nuclear sub could be very, very crucial. Probably shouldn't say very that many times, but it's going to be very nice. We see restorers versus chickens, and Berg is going to come in with his air and try to clean things up. You can't miss what happens there. Berg launches a nuke. 2 nukes loaded up in this one.
Strategic launch detected.
That nuke is a defensive one to take out the chicken. More experimentals for X242. And this is going to be an excellent nuke. That's going to really damage those megas. Took out all the bricks. So good stuff from Berg. But here off map, oh, this is going to be good from Neurobound. Takes out the nuke, but 1 nuclear launcher. You can say that's a minor loss for Berg. Major loss of bombers. It's a bunch of dead bombers here right now. And here comes, oh yeah, this is gonna be another defensive nuke. This time from Baff. Goes a little behind, maybe a little to the front would have been better. A mega is gonna come in. We see transport from Big Bad. He's gonna try to pick up a little bit of mass, but there's still a couple experimentals. They're pretty low on health, so this mega is actually going to be able to defend, and plus gunships coming in as well. So both sides continue to play excellent defense. This has been the game of defense, and once again cruise missiles sniping Navy, actually able to snipe through frigates, and time and learning his lesson, moving his Navy. I gotta see this sub. Actually, this sub is just it's not using nuclear charges. It's just underwater missile launcher. And it looks like this was a drop not of engineers, but of some Tech 3 to take care Some good stuff from Big Bad. Big Bad with some Tech 3 submarines is going to make sure you hold on to water. Berg perhaps even thinking about making a navy. That's pretty crazy. And this is finally something that looks like a real navy. And of course, this is the aircraft carrier for Seraphim. Works like a really nice cruiser. This will be a drop from. It looks like this. At least one of them might drop. Nope. Good defense from the bottom side. And you can see here old time. Big problems for old time after that big push. Still an anti-nuke here for Big Bad. Where's old time's ACU? Looks like he's visiting Berg here. Usually don't like to have people visit you because what if they just leave and you got a nuke exploding in your base? Looks like a long stream of Tech 3 engineers through the middle from time. I'm not really sure why he's doing that. Probably is air spam. He's just switched up his factory to making Tech 3 NGs. Because that's alright, he can use those to get all this mass. So many dead experimentals. Both the Berg and Bav playing good defense with their nukes. There's definitely no lack of mass. It's a question of how much build capacity both teams have. And you can see hives and kennels, the popular choice. Looks like Berg is now going for Maver. Maybe not a bad idea. Probably will need a lot of protection in terms of shields. He definitely has enough anti-air, but in a single pass, as we've seen. Actually, it's a whole bunch of strat bombers coming in again. But he could be in danger of losing. This is exactly where his nuke was that was sniped. Probably get a couple more Tech 3 shields.
Strategic launch detected.
His other nuke keeps on firing. And you can see gunships here for Neurobound. He doesn't want to get sniped again. But so many bombers for Neurobound. And under the cover of all these cruisers, that's pretty dangerous for Berg. Even his ACU could be in danger. But he should be expecting to get bombed. And this is just so many nukes all at BAF. Does he have enough? There's 6 in here, so he definitely has plenty. But time on hoping that there is not that many. He's gonna have to launch a couple more. BAF, of course, still has 5 in this one. He has another one somewhere which I can't spot. His nuke, 87 kills, 1 nuke loaded, yet another one left. That's some very expensive nukes that do no damage. And once again, Berg just got scouted pretty hard. Of course, with cruisers, they can put pressure on these shields, knock them down, allowing the bombers to come in and clean up. A lot of gunships coming in as well, so a whole bunch of whalers. 1 nuke loaded. And here where the nuke struck, pretty much rebuilt for Neurobound. So Neurobound probably needs to change things up besides just ecoing like this and making planes. He's got to either go on an attack and get something to work, or start making something like a Maver himself. Because if the bottom side gets a Maver, the top one doesn't, that is pretty much going to be game over. So still, 2008, people haven't realized Navy basically wins the game for you. And even when they get the Navy, it doesn't win the game for them. But this is the right idea here from Big Bad. Although these aircraft carriers in danger of dying. Yeah, this is great from Berg. Arty. Tech 2 Arty versus Navy. These gunships retreat, although pretty good protection here from BAF. I'm losing that island. This was actually Timon's island. It had some nicks on it. Pretty big loss. So maybe it was a mistake by those 4 nukes that time on the sent at BAF. If you would have just sent them straight through the middle past this nuke, if you could have overwhelmed this one, it already has 4 as well. Kept on hitting Neurobound, who had his anti-nuke sniped. May have been the better thing to do at this point. There's another 4 here for Neurobound. But just so much mass everywhere for Neurobound. So once Berg gets a Maver, if he does, all this is going to die very quickly. These are all connected, no shields. Even just a few Strat bombers flying in here and just putting a couple bombs everywhere cause a massive chain reaction. It would be a very nice thing to see. BAF continues to nuke. Perhaps a drop. Whole bunch of T3 engineers. Yeah, it looks like Tech 2 Navy is the plan for BAF. In the middle, where is this nuke going? This actually hits. That's a really nice hit. That's an advantage, I guess, of a cyber nuke from above. There's no shields. Covers a pretty nice area. This one is now from Neurobound. And some Strat bombers now coming in. Perhaps they'll try to snipe this anti-nuke. Unable to break through the shields. It looks like they're targeting, not really clear what they're targeting. And is this, yeah, this nuke is going to be taken out. And yet another nuke, second nuke, but at this point people are figuring out that is something going to fall on that. No more anti-nukes loaded. This could be dangerous. Appears that another nuke was launched at the Navy. Let's see how Berg is doing on his Maver. He's already 2/3 of the way done. This could be the winner of the game. But with so many Strat bombers, it's hard to believe the top side not winning with such a massive eco. They pretty much had air control most of the time, but they just ran into superior anti-air of Berg. Looks like this has been spotted. That should make the top side worried. Tech 2 Pigeons, yet another anti-nuke in the middle, 4 big bets. So the top side really playing a turtle here, which could be broken. And oh yeah, so an experimental nuke launcher. This could be interesting. Of course, it's very far behind the
launch detected. Strategic 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 launch detected. Launch detected. Strategic launch detected.